Hey you guys, so today I'm going to be talking about books that I have read this year so far. So far I've read 5 books this year. I put as my reading goal that I want to read 12 books. But I don't know, it's June and I've only read 5 books. That's not necessarily the best thing. So this is my little reading journal that I've converted into a reading journal actually. So I know a lot of people don't really like stats. They say, oh, don't get caught up in the numbers or whatever. Personally, I don't look at it as a kind of progression thing. I look at more of it as like a visually pleasing thing. I've always liked looking at stuff like that, stats and whatnot. So I just kind of want to tell you what we have here. I read 1 classic, 2 YA mysteries, 1 YA dystopia, and 1 YA horror. I read a total of 1,790 pages so far this year, and 2 audiobooks, 3 physical books, and my average star rating is 4.1 stars. The first book I read this year was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I started this one at the end of December, and I wasn't able to finish it, which was kind of disappointing because I think I only had like 70 pages left, which is whatever. I did audiobook this one because I knew it was going to come with a lot of detail, especially since this is very setting oriented. And I just wanted to listen to it. I got obsessed with the story in September. I did enjoy it. I think it was kind of slow. I do get what people say when it does get a bit boring sometimes, because the way Gatsby writes is that his main character, the narrator in this case, who is Nick, he'll see something and describe it in great detail. So that can get a bit excessive and boring sometimes. But I think it's cool to see his perspective on things, and I think that was fine with me. I ended up giving it 4 stars because I just have such an emotional connection to the story. And I think because the purpose of the story is to show the American dream, right? Like, this was New York in the 1920s, and so I think the setting, the world building was really nice. And I don't know, obviously not a big fan of Fitzgerald himself. And then after that, at the end of the month, I read Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. This one I got from the library, so, read it physically. I give it 4 stars. Absolutely loved it. This was kind of my first taste in modern YA mystery. I don't remember the last YA mystery I read, but it's been a hot second since I have read one. And I just really loved it. It had all the elements and tropes that I adore. The ending was shocking. The confrontation scene kind of reminded me of a Lifetime movie, which was funny. It's not a bad thing, it's just cute. And what else do I want to say about this book? I don't know, Karen M. McManus I think is a good fresh voice in YA mystery. I'm really good at guessing what's happening, kind of figuring stuff out. And the one thing I really love about Karen M. McManus is her ending one-liners. The one-liner at the end of One of Us is Lying, I don't remember it, but I remember it shook me to my core, and Two Can Keep a Secret is not that big of a difference. Jesus, that one-liner, I was like, girl, you did not have to put that in there. So I absolutely love that one. Next, I read The Grace Year by Kim Liggett, I think it's pronounced. Liggett. I decided to use my one free audiobook as an advantage, and I decided to read this one. It's not necessarily, ask me 2 years ago if I read a book like this, I would have said no. I don't know what compelled me to read this book, and I am so happy that I pushed myself to. I listened to the audiobook. Gorgeous. I loved it so much. So this one follows our main character, forgot what her name was, Shoot. And it's a dystopian book. But it's like those dystopians where you can't tell if it's set in the past or the future, because it's revolves around this kind of village that's just secluded in the middle of this desert, and they have a very old-fashioned way of living. And I'm talking old-fashioned, we're going back to the 18th century, so it has the 18th century vibe, but it has very dystopian ideals. It's a dystopian. Race year is basically a year on the 16th birthday of all these girls, or the 16th year of all these girls. They go out into the forest where nobody ever goes. It's the outskirts, it's untouched only by weird people, but weird people. They go to this field, and they live in this place where they have to release all their magic because women possess magic, and they're not allowed to keep it because that would make them too powerful. Because this is a feminist novel. Yay! We love speaking on social issues. It's like the whole traditional value. Women are only meant to cook, clean, and birth babies. That's like the main thing. The main thing is marriage and birthings. This girl obviously rebels against society, kind of. She doesn't want to get married or have children. She kind of just wants to work in the fields, but this is about her grace year. This book, there's this one element in this book that is so important and so relevant to the story, and you don't even see it coming because it's nowhere in the summaries, it's nowhere in the descriptions, no one really talks about it. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but just know that there is like this special element that's coming. This book made me so emotional. I loved it so much. I literally just sat there and listened to it. Usually if I listen to an audiobook, I have to be doing other stuff, but I just sat there and I listened to it. There's obviously the mean girls per usual, but the narrator had the most annoying voice for her. It's like, oh, Tyranny is the main character's voice. She's like, Tyranny, you are... I kid you not, it was that exact voice, and it made me hate the character more. Please, 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 if you have not read this book, listen to it. It's so good, it's so good. Next, I read recently Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews, which is the first book in the Doppelganger family series. I read this one... I own this book. I gave it 3 stars. And actually, my rating went down after quite a bit of reflection. So let's do a recap on what this book's about. This book follows this family who's perfect American family, white, blonde, blue-eyed, gorgeous. They all look like dolls. It's like this whole thing. Tragedy strikes. The family goes into financial debt issues, whatnot, and troubles. And the mother has to find a way to get money. So she ends up contacting her parents, whom she hasn't talked to in years. I mean, since she married her husband. They end up going to their mansion so that she could get put back in the father's will because they are filthy rich. And if the grandfather finds out that the children exist, then she's not going to get put in the will, so the children end up living in the attic. If you know V.C. Andrews, you know she's infamous for writing certain tropes and whatnot, incest being one of them. And that is in this book. Oh, Jesus. I'm not mad about that part because I like authors who like to write about taboo stuff. The writing of this book is not my favorite. The dialogue is very unnatural, it's not smooth, you know? This is in first person from Kathy's perspective. And she speaks like, I don't know, she doesn't speak like a child or she doesn't speak like an adult. It's like writers who are just bad at writing dialogue for movies. It's almost like that. Like, it's just unnatural speaking. Chris is annoying. The children are annoying. Kathy at the beginning is kind of annoying, but there's a lot of character development there, so I'm not too mad about it. And usually, if I don't like the characters, I don't let it affect me too much, but I don't know, it's just hard to read because these characters are really annoying. It's very slow. Like, I think this, maybe like this I was interested in, and this, but like this was slow, long, repetitive. And I'm saying all this bad stuff, right? But there's something prompting me to say that I really like this book, because I think I like the idea of it, that I just want to like it, but I don't even like it that much, and I gave it 3 stars. Like, 3 stars is generous. I could give this a 2.5 or 2.225 if I wanted to, but I'm not, and I don't know why I'm not. I'm continuing with the series though. I never really DNF stuff, so whatever. But I'm kind of interested to see what goes on. I think because I read this now as a 15-year-old as opposed to like if I would have read this when I was like 12 or 11, where most people read this, I would have liked the story more, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. And then for the book that I read recently, which was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I audiobooked this one, of course. This one's great. Fast-paced, YA mystery, characters that are lovable. I don't want to be that person, but I think it should be recognized that Holly Jackson's ability to do diversity in a good way, I think is great. There's like an unrealistic way that a lot of YA authors do, where you could tell it's forced diversity and it's not great, you know. But I think Holly Jackson did it in a way that was appropriate. She didn't ignore that there was obviously going to be social issues, but she didn't make it the main point of the story, because that's not the main point of the story. You have a simple girl, true crime lover, who wants to solve this mystery from her town. She kind of personally knew one of the people part of the mystery, so she has a personal connection and then gets into it. Because it's so fast paced and it has so much of the mystery in it, and like each chapter, that when it kind of got to her more personal life, I really didn't care, so that's why I gave it like a 4.5 as opposed to 5 stars. It has a lot of similar tropes. I said this in my reading vlog, but it has a lot of similar tropes to Two Can Keep a Secret, and it's very similar ending as well, which I think is funny. But yeah, those two books kind of go hand in hand if you want to read those together. I know there's more books coming. I know that another book already actually came out, so I'm kind of excited to see what she does with this. I think it's kind of just going to be like a investigative kind of series kind of thing. Thank you so much for listening to what I want to say about books. I'm pretty sure I didn't say everything I wanted. Usually, if I think about it too much, I'm not able to like fully express what I want to say. But I think I got the main idea out. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment what you're currently reading and some of your favorite books you've read this year. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.